Just a wonderful story, and what a wonderful tribute to your parents. Well, as was announced, I'm Leo Mullin. I am the former, within the last 2 years, national chairman of JDRF, and an Atlanta resident and a volunteer here in Atlanta. And I want to really thank the Georgia chapter for asking me to make a few remarks concerning NET and Penn, and I'm privileged to do so. Leah, my wife, and I have known Penn and NET since we arrived in Atlanta in 1997, first as JDRF colleagues and then as good and close friends. Our initial exposure coincided with a JDRF commitment by the Paynes that has been sustained and, to put it mildly, unquestionably important. Now, in thinking about what to say tonight, I recalled a quote from William Shakespeare that I believe is germane to JDRF. And he once wrote, quote, "What is the city but the people?" End quote. If we think about it, JDRF is not unlike a city. Thousands of people joining a community, committed to the health and well-being of that community, and doing what they can to contribute to that city's quality of life. And as with all cities, there are issues of leadership. I contend that the leadership issues are resolved along the lines of another quote, this time by an unknown person, who said in frustration one time, quote, "I always wondered why somebody didn't do something about that, and then I realized I was somebody," end quote. And the people we honor tonight are like the ultimate somebodies in our JDRF city. Liz has outlined the very nature of her parents' contribution: the Georgia Board, the JDRF International Board, the executive and the scientific lay committees. But I'd like to flesh out just a couple of vignettes that highlight their efforts. The first pertains to NET, who has further demonstrated his commitment to JDRF and mission by being here just a few short weeks after major surgery, and NET, we especially appreciate that. NET and I have coincidentally served our 6-year terms on the International Board in parallel. My efforts lay in the areas of executive management, finance, and research oversight. NET went in the direction of science, which is JDRF's good fortune since his career was in neurosurgery. He proceeded to become deeply involved in JDRF's research program, culminating in his being both chair of lay research review and then medical affairs. His leadership in that research effort was fortuitous for all of us. We were dealing with major strategic reviews of JDRF's effectiveness in harnessing the power of research to find a cure, and in helping the board update its role in overseeing this process while staying true to our shared mission. All of this occurred, I might add, during a time when JDRF, like all not-for-profits throughout the country, was bearing the brunt of a bruised economy. I can attest that the board came to rely heavily on NET's judgment, to trust his views. And personally, I felt an enormous sense of indebtedness to NET for his sustained and superior contributions during this time. Penn has an equally stellar record with JDRF, and in fact preceded NET on the International Board. Her experience as a lawyer, and one with considerable common sense, served JDRF in numerous ways during her board tenure and has continued to do so after her term expired. She too has served multiple and essential roles, most importantly on the executive as well as the nominating and governance committee, and drawing on her talents in offering innate and legal governmental and legal advice. I can assure you this did not abate when she moved from her board position to chancellor or more senior status. I, as the chairman of JDRF, often found myself confronting certain legal issues of the kind that almost all large organizations encounter from time to time. Upon whom did I call? Someone whose opinion I could rely upon and trust. You've got it, Penn Payne. She's good, not just in the practice of law, but in issues of sensitivity to the people equation and the application of law. And all the while, she never lost sight of JDRF's overriding goal. And Penn, I have a special thank you for being a special counselor to me during my time. And I might also add, it was one of the first times I ever got legal advice for free. I could go on with more vignettes, and they would all reflect the same. We at JDRF are blessed to have the Payne's family's exceptional service in our shared mission of finding a cure for type 1 diabetes. They individually and together are volunteers in the best sense. They are the ultimate somebodies who step up and take action as citizens of the JDRF city to which so many of us here tonight belong. None are more deserving of the Living and Giving Award, which we are honored to bestow on them tonight, and I'm grateful to participate in doing that this evening. Thank you all very much. Please. This is Penn and Net coming up to the stage. Kids give the awards first, right? Yeah. Okay, come on up, fellas.
Fellas, give the award. Look at this guy. You don't want this here. I'll put this to this.
That's a good one.
Oh, thank you very much.
Good job.
Thank you.
Being part of JDRF has enabled Ned and me and all of us whose lives are affected by type 1 diabetes with the ability to fight back against this disease in a very powerful way. So the recognition for Living and Giving tonight really belongs to the entire JDRF family. All of you who are here tonight, to the talented volunteers and the amazing staff of the Georgia chapter who made this whole evening possible, to the volunteers and staff worldwide who lead JDRF wisely, who raise money for research and who spend it strategically, to the moms and dads, sisters and brothers, including our son, friends and relatives who give so much of themselves to someone they love with diabetes, and to all the members of the JDRF family who themselves have diabetes. But most personally for us, the Living and Giving Award belongs to our daughter, who has handled diabetes with wry humor, as she showed you, with grace and with courage.
It's pretty hard to follow all that, isn't it? Wow, I appreciate this award so much. Penn and I are really, really honored. You know, our daughter and our son are really our star in the sky that hangs up there. We're all part of this living and giving thing. Everybody here works terrifically hard. Look at how wonderful this gala is and how it's been put together by two wonderful young people with a lot of hard work and contributions from many, many others. Same as the same is going on in research at JDRF. JDRF is research in type 1 diabetes. And we're so lucky to have somebody like Jeffrey leading us because we're leading toward a cure of type 1. We're leading to a cure through various channels. Channel of prevention, which was mentioned a little bit ago. The channel of various therapies, such as the artificial pancreas. And a channel eventually of a cure. And we have ongoing programs in all of those areas. And as living and giving people, we have to give and continue to give in every way we can, not only through our volunteerism, but through our pockets to make JDRF move forward in its most successful way. So when you're thinking about things tonight, particularly in the Fund a Cure, think about being part of living and giving, which I know everybody in this room is. Penn and I thank you so much for this award. We're glad to have you all here tonight. Thank you.